Alrighty, we are back. Sorry about that short little intermission. Rockerman had to do some things on the back end there, but I think we're going to try and get this matchup underway here in a second. I think everybody's ready. So Magic's rocking with the Pineapples, and I'm going with the Mafiosos, but by no means is this going to be a blowout one way or the other, I think, here, Magic.
Yeah, and I'll be honest with you. I think there's a universe where this is a forum mafiosos. I know that sounds crazy when you hear it at first, but if you think about it, mafiosos are probably the most underrated playoff team in the rival league right now. I really think they're like the Cinderella story, the team that really has a shot at making a deep run as a lower seed. And they've already taken down the Titans at our Hydra, and they did it pretty handily. So we'll have to see what they have here against the Pineapples.
Okay, and we are going to get this semifinal action underway here to start it off, game number 1. As opening kickoff going in favor of the Mafiosos, putting the Pineapples on the back end early, but quickly sent back over Jord and make a clear off his own backboard. Dumped out to the middle. There's Doodle trying to maybe pass it off to Squirrel, but nobody quite ready. Here come the Mafiosos. Tashega there. Shot just off target, but certainly an opportunity that could have gone in their favor. And Jake charging in. Good 50, but Valence there to clean this one up early. Tashega back in his own corner, losing it, but Jord, nobody there for the Pineapples, and this is the second or third time, Magic, where there's been a good clear coming out, but Jake, he's gonna capitalize off the 50 out of the corner.
Yeah, and early on it was Pineapples who had the pressure, but I think it really not the best back pass. Just flipped it on its head, and just like that, Mafiosos took control, and it didn't take him long to find the back of the net. A nice shot from Jake, and Mafiosos is going to have that early lead.
Yeah, just this first 30, 40 seconds, it seemed like the Pineapples has a little bit of a mistake in positioning off the kickoff here, but it just seemed like the Pineapples' second and third man were not ready for whatever the first man was doing there on offense, and kind of came back to bite them, and then Valence with that unfortunate touch in the corner. As
Ooh.
another counterattack coming out, rotation proving to be an issue here in this opening minute.
What a dime from Tashiga right to Jake, and that is a banger to the open net. And Jake already has 2 goals early in this game one. And I was gonna say pre-series, I didn't get a chance to, but Jake has got to be that guy to get things going, and he already has it rolling early for Mafiosos.
Yeah, and you know, before us, hold on,
Ooh.
Valence almost putting this one into his own net. Luckily, that was not, as the 3-0 lead this early would have been devastating here for the number 1 seeded Pineapples. But I mean, you brought up Jake. I really thought he was going to be the star of the series there in Hydra, but he kind of took a little bit of a backseat and let Jordan Tashega take the starlight.
Mhm.
But I mean, either way, this whole Mafiosos team has got to be one that's going to be reckoned with. There's now a counterattack the
Ooh.
other way, and so far the banger balls down the middle are just, this rotation from both teams is a bit questionable.
Yeah, but I'm loving the way this game is going. It's just passing plays and then bangers. And that's the most entertaining kind of Rocket League when a player has to line up a shot and just give you his best bang. And so far, this early action has given us 3 goals, so good shooting early on, and the Pineapple's trying to bring it back.
Oh, as a good pass from Valence with the little no boost pre-flip, dumping it down to Squirrel, and now we're all tied up at 2-2 here.
Yeah, I think it was that Valence that was on kickoff and then stayed with it and dunked it. It might have been Doodle on kickoff, but either way, Valence just dunked the life out of. I think it was Jord, and then he gets it right to the middle to Squirrel. So Pineapples wake up fast, and now it's the Mafiosos to get it back on their side.
And again off the kickoff, here's Doodle. I think he found the flip reset, but ultimately Jord ended up winning that challenge there. Valence for the follow. Weak touch from Tashega, but once again, the second and third man for the Pineapples not there. Jord taking to the dribble, no boost. Good
Ooh.
50, though. It's going to slip his way through as Jake is going to get the goal secure, and he's got a hat trick so far.
Yeah, we won't call that a steal. It's just securing it for the homie, you know. But either way, Jord, a very nice read. He saw exactly what the defense was throwing at him there, and he waited for the perfect moment and just 50s the life out of the defense and gets it back to the Mafiosos lead.
Yeah, I don't know if the defense was throwing themselves out there more than the fact that Jord was throwing himself on top of that ball, but it kind of works as again off
Ooh.
the kickoff. This has just been a kickoff heavy game, and within the first 10 seconds off these kickoffs, both these teams looking to strike.
Yeah, Bagels, we're not even halfway through this game, and there's 6 goals. So if that has anything to say for the rest of the series, we're in for a banger matchup because I think it's time for the Pineapples to score their 2 goals, has been the story of this game. So hopefully that's the case.
Oh my goodness!
My
As
gosh.
Valen's getting that one at the last second again, the follow-up from Teixeira as Mafioso's continuing to put power on these shots as Jord with a little bit of a mistouch in the midfield. Jake looking for a back pass, but now
Mm.
all of a sudden the Mafioso's continuing to get these mistouches in the midfield. And 1 second they're clicking on offense, and the next day, just confusion all around.
I think they're trying to follow the script, not make it too obvious. As I said, it was Pineapple's turn to score their goals. Some mafiosos were like, say less, and they just set it up perfectly for him. But I don't know what that was, but there's no room for that in the semifinals for the mafiosos. They got to clean it up for sure.
Definitely not. As Valence looking for the
Valence.
double, but just off target, off that top left corner. But again, still threatening are the Pineapple Squirrel. Could have found that shot maybe, but a tough one to hit. It's now Jake looking to clean this one up in the midfield, beating Doodle out, but getting bumped off the ball for his efforts as big clear. And Valence touching it off to the side. Not sure if that was the best option. Here's Jord, but not able to put anything threatening on. Jake last back, sending it to his own corner, and Jord leaving it for Jake smartly. And again, another big 50 win from Jake as Valence passing it over to Doodle, putting this one on.
Ooh, what a
But
save.
Jord, again, off to the side. But again, these follow-ups for Pineapples, they're looking threatening, Magic. They're starting to ramp up this pace here.
Yeah, you can see the speed from the Pineapples really started to get going as a passing play attempt, maybe a banger and a
Oh!
beautiful play. A dive from Tashika right down to the shooter himself, Jake, who finishes off the play.
And I mean, I know this is exactly what you said a few minutes ago, Magic. You want to see these banger passes, these passing plays, and this has just been a counterattack heavy game. I mean, Pineapples, they put on 3 or 4 shots, but I don't even think any of them really registered. I think only one of them got registered. But then on the other side, the Mafiosos just clap back with a passing play. And that's been a lot of these goals here, just passing plays off these counters.
Yeah, and just as you was asking me that question about the Pineapples getting things going, it was their own mistake. They had the
Oh!
counterattack for Mafiosos, and I really think it's the own mistakes from Pineapples that are really turning into counterattacks for Mafiosos right now.
Yeah, and Valence a chance to shorten the deficit, but ends up whiffing inside the Mafioso's box there, but touch off to the side. Maybe Doodle can take it, but he decides to leave it as Teixeira's going to take the shot. Squirrel having to jump up. Interesting choice from Doodle there. As the Mafiosos with a double commit of their own. Jake here for the follow-up. Doodle all alone in net, but the shot sent right at him. Valence faking this one out. Jord up. Wins this off the ceiling. Teixeira there. Nobody challenging from the Pineapples. Looking for the
Ooh.
short-range double. Couldn't find it. That would have been a hell of a shot, but we got 30 seconds left here, Magic. And Pineapples haven't gotten many shots on the board here.
Yeah, I feel like they killed so much of their time with their. They went for like passing plays and then they just messed up on one little thing and it turned into Mafioso's possession. So they're just running out of time here and they got to end up going to game 2.
Yeah, as the final 10 seconds rolling, it's looking like the Mafiosos with this continuous pressure are going to take this game 1. Unless Doodle can get a quick counter now, but this ball is rolling all the way to the corner, and that will do it for game 1. As Mafiosos, and primarily the man you were talking about, Jake, has been the table setter here, coming up with 4 goals. And Sands, I don't know if he was trying to reverse ice the Pineapples. JD in chat, he said Jake has strep throat, he's sick, he's not feeling that well. He looked great. He's 4 for 4, 100% shooting, and Teixeira and Jord both coming in with a lot of shots and 2 assists to both of their names as well.
Yeah, that was a statement game for sure from Jake and really the rest of the Mafiosos as a whole, is they knew exactly what they had to do to get a win, and that was to enable Jake, give him his passes, and he's going to put him on target every time, as you said, 4 for 4. So early in that game, you could already tell it was Jake's game, and we were all just witnessing him just take over the lobby. And if you're the Pineapples, you can't give him that much room, and you can't make these mistakes on offense that turn into counterattacks because we've already seen Jake is just so good at scoring the passes that his teammates are giving him on those counterattacks. So it's on the Pineapples to clean up their own offense, and that'll help out their defense.
Yeah, I think it's just more of the Pineapple. Oh my goodness, is Jake almost with an unfortunate own
Hey.
goal, but quickly cleaned up from Doodle, who is ready off that kickoff. And again, kickoff shenanigans here.
Yeah, and that was a really good kickoff from Squirrel. I'll be honest, he just dunked the life out of Tashega. So if they can get more of that, they can get some free goals and really get the pressure off themselves.
And that's exactly what you want to do here for the Pineapples. Started out early here after dropping that game one. But I was going to say before a quick one got sent in there, let's hold on a second. Jordan looking to follow this one off the backboard does. But nobody there to follow it up quite yet. But I was going to say, I mean, it really felt like the Pineapples offense was really good. It's just they missed their mark on a lot of the shots. There were so many opportunities that presented themselves. But I think the rotation falling back on defense was where they kind of fell off. Now off the backboard, Jord there looking for the pass over to Tashega, but not able to find contact to Scroll with a bang of his own. Doodle up for the redirect off the ceiling. That one was sent a little bit off to the side. That would have gone in. Valence back over to Doodle. Back passes seeming to be more effective here for the Pineapples in game two. But Valence cutting this one off from Doodle, who's quickly following it off the corner looking for it. But Valence overcommitting. This is going to leave Squirrel Ass back. But again, it just seems like the Pineapples have ramped up the speed here in game number two, Magic.
Yeah, I think they've calmed down a little bit. He's got the nerves out, and an open net here can sort of get back. No, and as you said, the speed is the difference, and Valence is gonna beat the last guy back and give his team a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, a little bit of a weak shot coming out from Valence, but enough to put that one through. But I think the difference here, as far as this first minute is concerned, the Mafiosos got a lot of the goals on the counterattacks, these passing plays out of defense, but it looks like the Pineapples, they're just faster, and they're recognizing that, and they're cutting these opportunities off early. I mean, even Squirrel was last back there, and he just threw himself at the ball before any solo play could come out. Here he is, though, not able to find the touch, and I was just complimenting the Pineapples, and all of a sudden, Doodle with the back pass is not in their favor there.
Yeah, I don't think you want to back pass when you're that close to each other on defense. When Squirrel's literally sitting in the net like 2 feet away from you, and there's offenders closing in, that's probably not the best time to do it. And a good job by Jake to capitalize on it and to recognize the mistake from the Pineapples.
That's a great 50 from Squirrel, but not able to find the shot was Valence, and nobody finding the shot. Here comes Doodle flying in, and I mean, once again, 2 shots here for the Pineapples that should have gone in, although luckily third time's the charm. They able to convert, but I mean, I don't really know what to say about that.
Yeah, it looks like Doodle and the Squirrel really just made up for their previous offense where they gave a free goal to Jake, and Doodles and Squirrel are going to make it happen together. As Valence maybe on open net here for Doodle, but that's off.
Yeah, and again, another shot that Doodle should have converted on there.
Mm-hmm.
And again, Pineapples, they're at 6 shots to Mafiosos 1, which is certainly an absolutely dominating area in the shots. But I feel like they should have 10 shots, as a lot of them have just not hit their mark. But either way, they find themselves up 3-1 in this game. Jake looking for the follow. Jord popping it up to Tashega. To the air dribble, to the backboard, but Doodle and Squirrel both there to send it away. Here's Jake. Looking for a double of his own, but way off to the side. Is Squirrel going to send this one out? Jord using up a lot of boost to get a good 50, actually. Tashega with the open net. Squirrel, not enough boost. And, I mean, he was just floating there, and he just baited both of the Pineapples in.
I think he just went stupid, and they like, wait, he doesn't know what he's doing. No, he knew what he was doing. He was just acting dumb for a second there. And he had all the boost in the world, so he just kept it floating right there until 2 people from the Squirrels just bit from the Pineapples bit. The Squirrels, the real team name. But yeah, an open net and another counterattack goal for the Mafiosos off mistakes for the Pineapples.
Yeah, it feels like the Pineapples are double committing a lot, and rotationally the positioning is just a little wonky, but the offensive pressure definitely ramped up here for the Pineapples game 2. Although here's Jord with the redirect looking for the double. He might have had it, but Valence stunning that one away. Doodle, luckily again, the shot sent right at him. Valence back to Doodle looking for a counterattack of their own, but just off target. Here's Jord. He's going to give this one away early. Had a lot of time to work with in the 1v1 against Squirrel, but still the pressure on for the Mafiosos. Jake there. But Valence quickly away as Jord back to the middle, following his own touch. Not able to get up fast enough as Doodle going to dunk him out, and Valence there. And just the speed in this game, Magic, it just looks like both these teams, there's so many just rapid fire 50s in the midfield. Both these teams dying to get back on offense whenever they can.
Yeah, and they really ramped it up from game 1. As you can see the improvements that each team made. They kind of got the nerves out early as a beautiful save from Tashega to keep it out of the net. And I think the Mafiosos are realizing now that they got to put one on target, and they're kind of They're kind of panic on defense as the panicking comes out at the worst time, and Doodle's going to capitalize.
And now Doodle, and a great 50 from Valence as that one just flung
Oh
off to
my
the right
gosh.
side. Jake could have stayed a little bit further back in net, but I mean, either way, that's such an awkward read off that 50. And I was just talking about rapid fire 50s, and there was one right there to keep that ball locked in the Mafioso's half. But now Pineapples have a comfortable 2-0 lead here as here's off the kickoff Doodle ceiling
Ooh.
shot, but again Doodle shots, I mean, he has 3 goals in this game, but it really feels like his accuracy has fallen by the wayside as he's sitting at 3 for 5. That's really good shooting, but I really feel like 3 or 4 of them have been not even registered shots, although here he is just flinging this one off the ceiling. Valence continuing to keep this one stuck in the Mafioso's half for now as Mafiosos to the middle, to Shega to Jord. Again, high off the ceiling. Where's Jake? Here he is charging in a little bit late, but sent off to the side again. And they got to get something going here. High off the backboard. Doodle not able to find the read to Shega, Jord, both there. All 3 of the Mafiosos players crashing this net.
Doodle?
Doodle's gonna up goal. And Doodle has been he's been ball chasing this whole game number 2, and unfortunately for him, just lands on his hood.
Doodle got offended that you said he couldn't hit shots because he's just gonna put one in his own net because that counts as a net, right? So, shot attempted, shot made for Doodle, and
Oh
that's not the
my.
best kickoff as time is running out, and you don't want to start with another goal for the Pineapples here.
It just very well could be one. A Squirrel,
Ooh.
he was flat-footed in the very back, and now all of a sudden Mafiosos have turned the head on this game too.
Yeah, I think he was just watching Doodle and Valence both go
He
8
had
mode for a
boost.
second there, and he kind of froze. And when it came the other way, I think and a nice placement, honestly, from Jord to put it where Squirrel just wasn't ready to get to. And just like that, we have a tie game with 15 seconds.
Yeah, but I was about to say again off the kickoff. Good pressure here, but hold on to
Straight
Shea.
down.
Can he find the double almost off the crossbar? That would have been an insane read. Pressure still on in the final seconds here for Mafiosos, but big save. Jord popping it up, but last player back here for the Mafiosos, that was Tashega, not wanting to go all in the final seconds. We have overtime in game number 2 here, Magic, as again off the kickoff. These kickoffs are just wild right now.
I don't know how this game's in overtime. It feels like the Pineapples have just been in control. Like they have so many shots, but it just doesn't matter because for one, the own goal, and then two, as you said, Squirrel kind of was flat-footed. So 2 very late mistakes turns into extra life for the Mafiosos, and they'll take it every day of the week. Now they have to clutch it out in overtime.
Absolutely, and you said the high shot totals. Pineapples, they're sitting at
Oh,
12. Good 50 off to the side, but Jord able to keep that one away. They have 12 shots, but realistically, I feel like they have like
oh
16
yeah.
as Squirrel's putting that one away. Jacob, but again, off to the side, Jord. A little bit of a fake challenge, but awkward spot now as he's going to dish it over to Valence, but no shot for him. Looking to just keep some possession here. He's trying to bump Jake off the ball, but nothing doing. As Jake has gotten his way past all 3 Pineapples players, looking for a bump, but Doodle over the top. Pass over to Jake, but again, a bit of missed contact there. Doodle, quick shot over, but Jake sending it off to side. Squirrel with an opportunity as well, but needed to get a little bit of height on that one to put that one through. Jord,
Jake?
straight over to the middle. Here's Jake. Off the
Oh.
backboard, could it go in? Jord there for the follow. It's a low, it's a lofter. But again, this overtime Magic, it's just been constant pressure. Tashega gonna finally punish the Pineapples for not holding on to this lead.
He realized that he couldn't get the shot on target, so he just dishes out this to Shega. A beautiful pass, an even better shot. Top corner, and the Mafiosos really just steal a game off the Pineapples here in game 2, as that was the Pineapples' game to throw, and they sure did very late in that game.
Yeah, that was. I mean, that's just disappointing if you're the Pineapples right there. They had a 2-goal lead with 30 seconds left, and they
Ooh.
somehow managed to let Mafiosos back into the game here as Jord has said that Jake is going to the toilet, and I don't know why everybody is readying up if that's the case. But okay, apparently he's back. It only took him 5 seconds to go to the
Damn.
bathroom. You know what? I'm not going to say anything. I was going to say something,
He's
but
a
I'm going to refrain
speedster.
from doing so. But anyways, I mean, Pineapples, just they had complete control, like you were saying. They had so many shots and so many shots that just didn't get registered as shots, and I mean, it's just they really dropped the ball there in that game too. I mean, realistically, they had 16, 17, maybe even 18 shots on net, but like 6 of those didn't register. And it's just the offense was their magic. They were a powerhouse, but they got to get that defense, that rotation. Just the positioning is just off for them right now.
Yeah, and if the Pineapples are looking to make a deep run in these playoffs, they're gonna not go too far when they're showing mistakes like that. Like, if they win this game, I'm sure whoever's waiting on them is just gonna see every bit of these mistakes that they're making and recognize that counterattacks are where they can shine to take down this team. But if, on the other side of things, Mafiosos, if they try to push on to the finals, they are showing that they are very good at capitalizing off the slightest little mistake, and that really puts a lot of pressure on their opponent. Who are like, if we do anything wrong, they could score in a split second. As you said, 30 seconds, 2 goals. They know how to do it, and they know how to do it in clutch time too. So that really shows how good this Mafiosos team is.
Yeah, and the doubts of beating Hydra without drop have apparently been put to rest as they've quickly gone up 2-0. Granted,
Hmm.
they only had Pineapples to thank for that victory in game number 2, but either way, they were able to steel themselves and mount the comeback and win it in overtime as the first minute of overtime completely belonged to them and broke down the Pineapples defense. But I mean, if you're the Pineapples here, Magic, is it just the rotation, just the positioning? Is there something else that's kind of throwing them off here? Because it looks like they're dominant, but it's just these slip ups in crunch time, like you were saying, are coming back to bite them.
I think it's kind of impatience. When everything starts to slow down, like the Mafiosos just slow down the game, I think they get really just hesitant. And then when they decide to go, they go as two, and that's never a good thing. So they commit two for the ball, and then that last man back is just screwed. And that's a lot of counterattack goals off of that. So they got to clean up the double commits for sure and really figure something out because their offense, a lot of shots, but not a lot of accurate shots.
Yeah, one of those big double commits is hold on Jake with the pre-flip defensive effort
Ooh.
to keep the Pineapples at bay. There was that big goal where it was just Jord air dribbling as hold on,
Ooh.
Valence gonna send this one through to start it off. And again, Pineapples getting the first goal. They got the first goal last game, but didn't seem to help them. We'll have to see about this one.
Yeah, nice job by Squirrel to beat. I'm not sure who he beat, but it was somebody from the Mafiosos. He beat him right in the midfield, very high up in the air. So he got up quick and just leaves it right for Valence to punish the bad rotation, really. And that's what you needed for the Pineapples. Get the early goals going.
And Mafioso is looking for an early opportunity as well as now
Oh, it's
Bad
open.
50. Maybe he can't find the shot pass over. He had the open net. I'm not quite sure who that was, but passed it over to another Pineapples player. I think it was Doodle, but either way, neither players on the Pineapples able to find that one through. Here's Doodle again. Double demo coming out. But this one's going to leave pressure to Pineapple still. Squirrel taking to the dribble. Yeah,
Oh,
somebody needs to let
no.
Squirrel know he has time there. I just, that just huge mistake from the Pineapples. Pressure on now for the Mafiosos, but now Squirrel by himself again. Tashega bouncing it straight up. Here's Doodle high off the backboard. Nobody up there for the Mafiosos, but Jord able to send that one away. As here's Squirrel, another shot opportunity, not able to put it on target. And I feel like Squirrel might be a little bit rattled right now. I feel like Squirrel's just a better player. Obviously, Valence is the carry for this Pineapples team, but it looks like Squirrel is perhaps a little bit rattled here, Magic.
Yeah, I feel like, ooh, with a shot from Doodle, I was about to say, I think Squirrel's probably feeling rattled, as you said, because his two teammates are not really playing as well. Maybe he expects them to. But as I was about to say that, they're going to have a nice passing play between the two of them to give this team a 2-0 lead. But I think Squirrel's feeling the pressure of, having to make something. I mean, he's like the most well-known player on this team. So I think the pressure's starting to mount a little bit, and he's not making the best decisions, but I'm sure he has what it takes to clean it up and give his team really a way back into the series.
Yeah, Squirrely's seeming to be in the right spot, although here he is a little bit awkward on defense. Luckily, Tashega not finding the read. He's able to put it off to the side. Valence off the ceiling. Here's Doodle. Quick shot over, but big
Uh,
50. This one might just roll straight in, and it will. Big 50 from Jord, and just, wow.
I don't even know what that is. I feel like the Pineapples probably shouldn't have all three players on the Mafioso side of the field when the ball is not with them. And it just takes one bad 50, as we saw there on Doodle, to just send it right into their net. Obviously, a little bit of luck played in, but that can't happen either way. It's just a bad rotation.
Another unfortunate hit. Here's Jord. Squirrel last back. Can't find the shot. Jake leaving it. Tashega looking to put it
Ooh.
right post, but accuracy not able to be found. but still, Mafioso's here in this corner. Here's Jord, but sent away from Doodle, and nobody wanting to go here, but Jake finally charging in, looking to maybe drop it through.
Ooh.
But again, every time the Pineapples are trying to clear this ball, it's straight over to a Mafioso's player. Jord off the corner, and back in the midfield. Here's Tashega, a little bit awkward. Jake looking for a bump in the net, not finding it as it's high off the
Jord?
backboard. Jord there for the follow, and it was kind of a weak effort bump, and two people for the Pineapples abandoned the net.
It looks like Valence bumped into Squirrel and kind of just said, get into the net. And then that just threw off everything on the defensive side. And then Jake, all he had to do was just charge headfirst into the goal. And he could count on Jord to put it into the net. And really a nice play, but really a worse defensive setup there for the Pineapples bumping into each other.
Here's another opportunity. Doodle sending it straight into Jake, but again, as Squirrel with a big whiff, Jake looking to capitalize off that. And it seems like the trouble for Squirrel is continuing here. A little bit of the mispositioning on defense and the field side flip. And now all of a sudden, Mafiosos have gotten 3 unanswered here.
Yeah, I think Squirrel went up for like trying to pre-read the wall before it bounced off, and he just couldn't find the angle on the bounce, and it really just left him awkward and left his team awkward. And then a nice flick from Jake. Let's not take anything away from him. He's playing his heart out, but it's the mistakes from the Pineapples that are really keeping the Mafiosos in this game. Oh, what a save!
Yeah, and definitely the mistakes they are is again
Oh
another
my
misrotation. I'm not quite sure who should have been last back, but again, like you said, all 3 players for Pineapples on the Mafiosos half.
Yeah, and then the ball just leaves the half, and they're caught just looking at each other like, "Wait, I thought you had the." And there goes the Mafiosos the other way with possession, and another beautiful passing play for them.
Yeah, and the shots again belonging to Pineapples. Although here's Valence off the ceiling, off the kickoff, big save from Tashega to keep the lead at 2. But the shots definitely. Oh, hold on one
Ooh,
second.
Musty.
With the musty, with the read, I think he had it, but sent away from Valence. As again, this overwhelming pressure from the Mafiosos. Actually, a really good read from Doodle
Yeah.
to keep that one away. Although here's the pressure still on Tashega to the backboard. Jake leaving it for him. But they're getting a little confident here, Magic. They're going for the fancy stuff as the Pineapples have thrown away game 2, and they might just throw away this game 3 unless they can get 2 back of their own here.
They're bringing out the squishy saves and everything. I think the Mafiosos are feeling themselves, and that's when they play the best. Zooming back and forth, and the Pineapples don't know what to do to crack this defense. And as you see, every single time it's a bad 50 and it just pinches up into the air. It looks like the Pineapples get a little rattled and they get counterattacked on, so they got to watch out for that, and they got to find 2 goals.
Yeah, they got to find 2 goals, otherwise they're going to be down 3-0 in this series. And Valence with an opportunity, but he can't find the accuracy, not even in a direct line to the backboard. Although here's Squirrel banging this one over. Jord last back. But again, the saves there for the Mafiosos. Pineapples, Magic, the Pineapples have 0 saves in this game number 3. As again, the misaccuracy, nobody can hit a shot for the Pineapples. They're sitting at 12 shots, and they haven't hit. They're 12 shots, Magic.
8 saves for the Mafiosos, 0 for the Pineapples, and they're still losing this game. Oh my gosh.
As this one will again go the Mafiosos' way. They will be up 3-0 in this series over the number 1 seeded Pineapples, who they had the lead, Magic, in game 2. They had the lead 2 goals. They somehow let the Mafiosos back in with that misrotation, the mispositioning, and they were up 2-0 in this game too, and they just continually let Mafiosos back into the game.
Yeah, and even in that game, I believe they scored first. There's a nice pass from Squirrel and a good finish from Valence. We saw glimpses of what this team can achieve when they're playing like they should, but they just get a little like frustrated with each other, I guess, as they expect each other to have better control of the ball, then it just 50s away from each other, and they just get caught looking at each other while the ball goes the other way. And it feels like a lot of the times where Mafiosos score, there's a lot of um, Pineapples on the other side of the field, and that can't be happening. As I do believe you're doing a quick lobby reset and a tactical timeout for the Pineapples because they got to change something. When I said I expected a potential 4-0 sweep for the Mafiosos, I said it was possible. I for sure didn't expect it to actually happen, but that's what the Pineapples are looking at now, and they got to because they're looking at a reverse sweep or go home.
Yeah, and I don't think we've ever seen a reverse sweep in a best of 7 series here, as far as the first 5 seasons of Nemesis are could be concerned. But if somehow the Pineapples were able to do it, that would be a stellar feat to punch their ticket to the grand finals. But I mean, the way the Mafiosos are playing, I can see them giving up a game or two, maybe, but I just don't see a world where Mafiosos let the Pineapples win 4 in a row. They're just playing so well. But on the other side, Pineapples, they have a good offense. I feel like the offense is actually better than the Mafiosos. They just got to get the accuracy, and they're just overcommitting so hard. And we've seen so many long goals for the Mafiosos or 1v1 opportunities that the Pineapples are left in, and that's truly been their downfall. And that's how they've let the Mafiosos get these late goal comebacks or even mid-game comebacks when they've had two times in the series they've had two, even a 3 goal lead, and they've somehow thrown it away.
Yeah, I completely agree. And as you said, even though Mafiosos has had some really beautiful passing plays and just great shots, I do agree with you that the Pineapples probably have a better offense. Their aerial mechanics are probably the best in all of Rival. And we've seen a lot of them from Valence, some from Squirrel, even from Doodle. They've all had their moments, but it's the moments where things start to get dicey on their offensive end, and it goes back the other way that everything seems, and maybe they need to change something in their rotations with what they're doing, but it seems like they're leaving a third man back by himself a lot, and it's getting punished very often by the Mafiosos. So props to them for recognizing the mistakes, but it's really on the Pineapples. They can't sit back and wait for the Mafiosos to hand it to them. They got to go out and they got to really put a stomping on them in this game, or I really don't think they can come back in this series.
Yeah, and I mean, just overall, the offense as a team is there for Pineapples, but individually, I mean, Valence, he's the leader here for the Pineapples, as it looks like Squirrel. I was just about to say, it seems like Squirrel has not been hitting his mark this series, and they're actually going to sub Squirrel out here for Lancer, as normally I would say Squirrel is the number 2, maybe at times even the number 1 player on the Pineapples, but they are subbing him out here. And honestly, I don't mean to call it my fellow management member, it might be warranted, as Doodle gonna get another lead for the Pineapples here, but as we've seen previous times, the first goal doesn't mean a victory.
Yeah, I think like this has happened a lot in the series. That early aerial goal from Pineapple that makes you think maybe they're back and they're just not. So I hope they're back for real this time. But if this is Squirrel subbing himself out, I wouldn't be surprised because I think he recognizes he's not playing as well as he should be, and I think really just you know changing something is always the right move to do when you're down 3-0.
Yeah, and I mean, just one more. Just I'm gonna give Squirrel another compliment here, as normally he is just such a stellar player. I mean, even I play ranked with him sometimes, and I'm, getting up in those 16, 17, 1800 lobbies, and he can compete, but just unfortunately for him, he's just hasn't really showed up today. But still, the Pineapples are proving to be dangerous on the offense as usual. They're already at 3 shots, make it 4. Another
Ooh.
big save for Jake. Doodle up now, faking this one for Valence. Another shot on target, but Shega sending it away again, and all of a sudden, I guess it's not all of a sudden, it's been the whole series magic. The Pineapples offense has been clicking. It's just a matter of somehow sneaking its way through this Mafioso's defense.
Yeah, and if I recall correctly, it was what 8 saves for Mafiosos, 0 for the
Hold
Pineapples.
on.
So if that's the case again, it really could be. As we already see, 5 saves Mafiosos, 0 Pineapples, and it's only a 1 goal game. So they got to start putting some shots into the back of the net, not just.
And it seems like a lot of these are high quality opportunities. Here's Valence looking for the double again off the backboard, but nobody following that one up. Doodle here, but again, it's just as a demo comes out, this offense has been so dominating for Pineapples. It's just the accuracy, the overcommitting. So here's Doodle looking for another one, but not able to find that, as now in the midfield, Jake maybe looking for a demo, but opted to leave that opportunity go. It's Lancer off to the side. This one's going to leave Valence last back, opting to maybe try and dribble. A little bit of a mistouch, though. Still able to get his way past Jordan. Here's Tashega, 100 boost to work with, looking for something mechanical. But Valence waiting patiently on the backboard. There's a scuffle in the corner. Gonna go Mafioso's way. Big 50 Doodle there to get the save, and they did it, Magic. They got their first save.
I feel like that's maybe the start of something new for this team. Maybe the spark to get back into the series. But so far, I really don't think Lancer's been a big difference in Squirrel. I feel like either way, no matter who they have in, it's been pretty much the same as
Oh
Jake
my.
almost. an accidental double tap, but as you can see, Lancer's been playing very passively, and I don't think he's been a big difference maker. Though pinch onto net from Jake, and that's all it takes for the Mafiosos to tie this game back up.
Yeah, and that was just
Oh,
three
what a
huge
50.
50s. I mean, that wasn't even a 50. That was just a dominating challenge right
Dunked the
there.
life out of him.
Yeah, that was just too good for Mafiosos, and they did that 3 times in a row to keep it locked in the Pineapples half, and eventually just no more boost for Pineapples to push out and cut those challenges off early. As so here off the kickoff, going the Pineapples' way. Big 50 out to the side. Jord up first, though, and this could leave the net open here for the Pineapples. Can
Jaeger?
Deshega find the shot? He
Ooh.
can, and again, I mean, they kind of went all in, the Pineapples did, but again, these counterattack passes for the Mafiosos.
Yeah, I really was looking forward to watching Pineapples in the finals, but either way, I'm excited to watch this Mafiosa squad in the next round and look to take a championship because they are so deadly accurate and their passing plays are so clean. You can tell they put the time in together and they're getting the dividends of all that hard work and it's showing out on stream here against the Pineapples.
Yeah, well, let's not count the Pineapples out yet. There's
Yeah, they
always an
got it. They
opportunity for
got
the
it.
reverse sweep.
Yeah.
It's definitely possible, but again, the Mafiosos back on offense, but nobody there to follow it up. Paying a little bit patient, and you know, 1-goal lead here in the match point game. Not necessarily a bad idea. They've seen the Pineapples throw away a lead. They don't want to throw one of their own, but Lancer playing a little bit passive the first few minutes, but big dunk right there.
Yeah, he recognizes that it's now or never, and he sees Jake awkward, and he's gonna do to Jake exactly what he did to him himself. It might have been Lancer that got dunked by Jake, so Lancer returning the favor, and he's gonna tie up this game, and that's a very clutch goal there from Lancer. Good job to him.
Yeah, and again, off the kickoff, here's Lancer up way early, but should have stayed down. Is a little too far for a challenge for him. Jord, read off the backboard, Doodle there. It's now Jake in the 1v1 over Lancer, overcommitting again for the Pineapples with Valence rushing back, getting the save. His team so desperately needed. Net open though as Jord taking the ball away from his teammate. I think, not quite sure who that was. That might have been Teshega, and now they're going to get punished the opposite way. Mafiosos had a chance to finish out this series, and now Pineapples, they're at the lead again.
Yeah, and as you said, don't count the Pineapples out because it's just like that. The Mafiosos really made their first crucial mistake that I've really seen this series, where you can tell they did something wrong that turned into a counterattack goal. And good job by Valence to recognize the open net.
Yeah, and just a big question mark there for the Mafiosos, because Jord, he could have hit the shot himself, and
Yeah.
but he could have very well just left it for his teammate, take the safe opportunity. But now, down by 1 goal here with a minute left. Teshega to the middle. Here's Jake, overcommitting again are the Mafiosos. Jord last back, but Lancer a little bit too slow on that challenge. As Valence thought he had a good power shot right there, but Teshega cutting that one off. Teshega once again back to the middle. Jord with the infield shot, but Valence quickly sending it away off the backboard. Here's Lancer sending this one away. Had some time to work with, but either way, the Pineapples are only concerned with keeping this ball on this Mafiosos half however they can here. As Doodle, awkward touch, again a big double commit, but Valence continuing to outspeed the whole team here, and he's almost sending it all past all 3 of them. Jake to the middle, one more infield pass opportunity. Jord can't find it, but he fakes it for Teshega. And in the final seconds, Valence, he just has to put it down, and he will. And finally, the Pineapples get a game here in this series, as waiting for the endgame celebration to conclude here. Looking at the shots, once again, 12 shots for the Pineapples, big shot totals. It's just the defense, and they were able to hold on in this one.
Yeah, that was an intense game. That was the kind of games I expected in the series, more so than the throws from the Pineapples and then just the stompings by the Mafiosos. But I don't think putting in Lancer was really the difference maker, but I do think it changed something for the team's dynamic, and I think it gave a little bit of confidence to Valence and Doodle to know they could play more aggro and trust that Lancer's gonna be back. And I think just changing something might have been the play. I really feel bad for the Squirrel, especially if Pineapple somehow come back in this series. And you never want to be that guy that subs out and then your team starts succeeding. But I think he'll be happy either way if they were able to clutch it out. So we'll have to see if they can keep this going. But Mafiosos can't get too antsy. I think they're a little excited right now.
Yeah, and I mean, certainly Squirrel overall a much better player than Lancer, but similar play styles, similar passiveness, but certainly just a mental change, maybe just like you said, the team dynamics. proving to be beneficial as far as that game 4 is concerned. And now, first 30 seconds, Pineapples once again going back to this stop.
Oh
Okay,
no.
as a double whiff coming out there on the goal line. I was about to say they're going back to this suffocating offense. As once again, they already have 3 shots in the first 40 seconds. So that's been the one constant in this series, Magic, has been this Pineapples offense. They've had double-digit shot totals pretty much every game. In fact, almost approaching 15 on 2 or 3 of the games. So it is just there every time. It's just a matter of the communication, the rotation, and the defense. As big defense from Valence right there.
Yeah, and I get a little nervous whenever the Pineapples start mounting like a very long offensive attack because I feel like just a matter of time before that counterattack happens. We've seen it so many times in the series, probably double digits by now, where the Pineapples make a mistake on offense and then it goes the other way. So they need to really stay in control when they have the offensive pressure, and I think they'll be just fine making a comeback in the series.
Yeah, as now another counterattack from Mafiosos. They're getting these clears out, but nothing to on net. Although here's
Oh
Valence.
no!
Just a little bit
Feels
flat-footed in net,
backflip.
mispositioning, but I mean, either way, a big shot from Jake.
Was that a feels backflip, man? Yeah, I
He was
think it
just too deep.
was. Yeah,
I mean, he
I
just
don't think
wasn't
he
even on the
realized
goal
it.
line.
Yeah, exactly. I think he didn't realize how far back he was and how fast that ball was coming on. So a good shot by Jake, but if you're Valence, you got to be awake this late into the series, and you got to be ready for a shot like that because that's a free one. You can't let that get past in clutch moments like this in a series that means so much. You gotta be ready to go.
Oh
Oh
my
my gosh,
goodness!
he's gonna answer back and hit an insane double tap.
I mean, that actually wasn't Valence. That was
Oh
all
wow,
Lancer. Lancer, I
I
think,
got
actually
confused.
forced him to own goal essentially because of the threat. But either way, the credit will go to
Yeah,
Valence.
I thought that was Valence hitting that shot, but as you said, it was Lancer forcing the defender to make the mistake. But hey, we'll call Valence with the insane double. Props.
And we'll take that as a big 50 from Lancer, but Doodle not wanting to overcommit as the Pineapples so often have. Big 50 here for the
Oh,
Mafiosos. Doodle having to find the read, but he dishes it straight back to the
Jake.
middle. Here's Jake, but everybody on Pineapples actually back on defense right there. It's now this one getting sent back to the opposite side. Thought that one might have been a crazy
Ooh.
angle from the corner, but Doodle keeping this one in. Lancer rotating out, and nobody here for Pineapples challenging as Valence getting bumped, and smartly Lancer realizing that, cutting the ball off after his own touch. And another big bump, double demo, but Valence
Mm.
having to retreat. As again, this has kind of been, I honestly think this is the weirdest game in the series so far, Magic.
I
It's
feel
just
like
been a little bit of a patient game here.
yeah, exactly. I feel like neither team wants to make
Oh,
that play. Is Jake is just getting the weirdest goals right now in this game. I mean, you'll take it either way, but I mean, a good read from him. But where's the Pineapples defense? They're just caught sleeping, and that really can't happen in this kind of game where it means so much. But as you said, this is just a weird game with a bunch of weird goals already.
yeah, and the Pineapples, they're putting so much stock into the Mafiosos trying to whiff, but really, I mean, all series, the Mafiosos haven't even really missed a ball, missed a challenge, anything that's remotely basic here in the rival league. And time again is hold
Ooh,
on,
what a
big save
save!
to Shega, awkward on the goal line, big flick out though. But time and time again, the Pineapples are just, they're throwing it all in all the time, and they haven't made the adaptation. Squirrel being subbed out or not, these overcommitting goals are continuing to be an issue here.
Yeah, and if you want to put it in like basketball terms, this is like shooting a million threes and never hitting the open layup that you're being given, and then just being punished on the other side of things. They're just trying to make that big play happen so much, hit the bank, that they just keep getting punished going back the other way. And good job by Mafiosos, but Pineapples cannot be having this happen this late into the playoffs, and they got to find something now because they have a minute or
Yeah, and a minute indeed to finally try and get some momentum in this series, get 2 in a row, but a big whiff. This is it. Valence, he's there. And finally, I said the Mafiosos haven't whiffed all series, but what a time for them too. As a big pre-flip from Doodle, he just wasn't ready, I guess.
Big goals. What are these? What is goals, man? Like that's four
Yeah,
goals in a row, where it's like not even a passing play or just a nice shot. The most random crap happening, and it ending up in the back of somebody's. Another kickoff opportunity here, but I think the game's going to slow down, and we may have overtime. And the most important game yet. Or
Ooh,
not. What
we
a
will
shot.
not. As Doodle with a quick double off the corner. Jord racing back, and smartly so. He wasn't able to get that read off the corner, but Jake, he had a chance at the save right there.
Yeah, he had the opportunity, but I just did get to it quick enough. And Doodle, a nice shot. And hopefully, this is signs of the pineapples coming alive late in the series because I really want this to go the full distance.
That would be great indeed, as we've seen so many times here in the playoffs, going all the way to Game 6, even Game 7. But the infield
Ooh.
pass, Mafiosos, they don't want to go to Game 6. They're trying to shut it down now as a quick counterattack once again off these kickoffs.
Back to what they do best, just rolls flip this time. Jake to Shega this time. You normally see the Shega passing to Jake, but Jake had possession and he trusts his teammate every time there. And a dime, and maybe we are going to overtime. You call me crazy. This is a neck and neck game. And
As now, Pineapple's looking to avoid that overtime. They don't want to have to do it in crunch time. They want to do it now. But Mafioso's back on offense. A lot of space being given to Jord. An opportunity here, but Doodle stepping up big on the defense. And again, another big whiff from Jake. Follow-up for Valence. That's the second own, or no, excuse me, I was about to say own goal. Second open net for Valence. And, you know, I think I cursed the Mafiosos. I said they haven't whiffed at all this whole series, and they've had two big whiffs here.
Yeah, and they flipped the script. It went from Pineapples throwing their little 1 goal leads to now the Mafiosos in that last game. They had a 1 goal lead late in the game, and I think they got a little bit antsy. They felt it. They felt the win before it was really there, and it's starting to slip away now as Pineapples have turned it on, and they really give us a series now. As we're looking down the barrel of a 3-2 series, and this is getting interesting, Bagels.
Yeah, as this one will surely touch the ground, and it will. And headed to Game 6 we are. We're going to be approaching the wackiness of Forbidden Temple here in another minute or two. But, I mean, yeah, that was the first game that the Mafiosos really dropped the ball. I think Game 4, the Pineapples kind of stepped up. The Mafiosos didn't really make that many crucial mistakes, but two huge ones here in Game 5 to allow the Pineapples. Now they've got 2 in a row. They still have to get 2 more. But it's you know what, the Pineapples, they're starting to ramp up.
Yeah, I think they're waking up just in time. They're feeling the series slip away, and that change, as we said, it's not really the player like making a difference. It's really just changing the whole dynamic of the team, just giving some life and giving you a really a different feel for the team because same old thing, it really just wasn't working for the Pineapples. So changing something might have been all they needed to do because good job to Lancer filling his role and bringing this series back to a little bit more manageable than a 3-0.
Yeah, and I was going to say, I mean, if the 2 open nets weren't a thing, as hold on, 2 big shots early for the Mafiosos. Here's another one, but Doodle sending it to the side. I was going to say the Pineapples, they were in danger of not hitting their also consistent double-digit shot total, but they barely did it. They did it at 10 shots there in Game 5. But, I mean, it's just been, I've said it 3 or 4 times. It's going to sound like a broken record. The Pineapples, their offense is just crazy dominant. They just got to find a way to not overcommit, and that was still a big problem. That was something that they didn't change. They're still overcommitting here, and they're going to want to have to somehow stop that if they have any hope of finishing off this reverse sweep.
Yeah, I feel like we probably got most of the wacky crap out of the way. And that last game was maybe not as, it wasn't too wacky, but just a really good shot from Doodle, top corner. And the Pineapples are going to start things off on their own.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure where Jake was going. Maybe he didn't realize he was last back, but either way, he gave a lot of space to Doodle and kind of found himself in no man's land right there. But again, off the kickoff, here's Mafiosos banging this one high. Valence on the backboard. Send it away, but Tashega back to the middle. Jake looking for the follow, but not really a great touch to maintain the offense. As Tashega and I think that was Jake were both still up right there. Double commit could prove to be deadly. Here's Doodle with another good shot, but just missing his mark. And I was going to say early on in the series, Doodle's accuracy was not that good, but lately has been pretty stellar. But tough shot to hit right there. Is now Pineapples continuing to suffocate the Mafiosos here. Flick out from Tashega looking for Jake, but shut off quickly from Doodle, who's just muscling his way through the whole team. I actually thought he got the demo, but he died. And now, with Doodle not back, Lancer having to find a read. He does. Good touch off to the corner. And again, Magic, it looks like the Pineapples, they haven't been able to get on offense as much in this game. We only got 2 minutes in, but another patient game so far, it looks like.
Yeah, I gotta say, I kind of prefer this style from them, getting that early goal and then playing defense with that shot here from Jordan. He can't the dunk, but we were praising their defense, and they had a really big flaw right there. They left it open, and it was really just on Jordan to make the shot. But as I'm saying, I really do like the Pineapples playing more on the safe side of things, so they don't get punished on the counterattacks.
Definitely. And actually, that was a big misplay from Jord. I mean, he actually got a double tap to end the series against Hydra, and that one was a pretty basic double
Jake?
tap, one he should have hit. But Jake can't find the follow-up either, so if you're Jord, going to be thinking about that one. But here he is now, looking for a bang over to Tashega. A lot of space, but Doodle actually able to get a good 50 in the midfield. Still dangerous, but Valence bailing his team out. Here's Jake, slipping his way past. Jord opting not to bump Valence, leaving the ball and the player. As Tashega off to the middle. Here's Jake again, looking for the shot, but not able to drop it through. Still dangerous. It's a slow roller,
Open.
but Doodle there. Jake retreating back, trying to pop it over. Valence back to the middle, big 50. As here's another play for Tashega. He's going to find the shot, but Valence there for the save. I'm actually surprised he didn't infield passes. That seeming to be the Mafiosos' plan between the series and Hydra. The series here, Magic, it looks like they're just trying to do these infield passes time and time again.
Yeah, it feels like Mafiosos are throwing everything they have now because they feel the series start to slip away. They had a firm control at 3-0, and they really know that all the pressure's on them now. The Pineapples have nothing to lose. They've mounted the momentum for themselves, and they really have to find a goal here because losing 1-0 would be the most painful way to lose a game, just knowing that you couldn't find the back of the net. And if you're the Mafiosos, you got to get things cooking now because we might be going to Game 7 if it keeps at this rate.
Yeah, and seemingly for the first time in the series, the Mafiosos leading in shots. They're sitting at 8 to the Pineapples 4, and they are trying everything. As here's Tashega, he needs to go for a bump, but he went for the bump too late, as Valence had enough time to cut that one off. And they're trying everything, but it's not enough at the moment, as Pineapples have finally, it's seemingly like they've stopped this overcommitting here in Game 6. They're playing a solid rotation, and it is absolutely working. The Mafiosos are now the ones who are under pressure, having to find an opportunity, as this one's going to slip in off the 50. And again, the frustration for the Mafiosos continue here.
I don't know if we have any baseball fans, but I think probably one of the only times there's ever like a reverse sweep in a 7-game series is probably like Red Sox Yankees. And this is about to be something like that, where you think there's no way they come back. And we're looking down the barrel of a Game 7 right now, Bagel. And what more could you ask for than a reverse sweep from the Pineapples? But they got to make it happen, as they're not, the counterattacks here.
Oh
George can't put it in. Oh
no,
my gosh, there's no way.
And somehow, I mean, it just might be Forbidden Temple here, but the Mafiosos are the team that cannot hit a shot. In all series, they have been hitting their shots. And Pineapples, they have been able to convert on the opportunities they have. They're not going to hit double-digit shot totals for this game for the first time in the series, but that seemingly was not the issue here. They have fixed the overcommitting here, and they will be moving on to Game 7 for a chance at the Grand Finals. Lancer looking to put one more away. Actually, the redirect almost coming in there. But either way, the Mafiosos, I mean, I think the Mafiosos played well. They just couldn't hit their shots, and it was they had a lot of tough shots they needed to hit, except there at the end. They surely should have capitalized on that one. But honestly, the Pineapples, this was the best game rotationally I've seen from them in the whole series. They didn't get even close to 10 shots. They were only finished the game at 6. But honestly, if you're the Pineapples, who cares about the double-digit shots? They shut out the Mafiosos for the first time in this series.
If you take 2 shots and you score them both, and then you just shut it down on defense, I'm much happier than putting 15 shots on target and getting 2, but still losing the game. Because all that matters at the end of the day is the win column. And this was a very convincing win from the Pineapples. I got to say, their defense cleaned up big time. And they didn't have to be on offense to make it happen. They got their 2 goals, and they just sat back. And that's the change that I like to see, because a lot of the Mafiosos' goals in this series, early on in the series, were from mistakes on the offensive side, not the defensive side of things for the Pineapples. And I know you all got that notification, Game 7 alert from Mr. Rockerman, and this is what we all have been waiting for. We said there's no way 3-0 Mafiosos right now, no way, and it's a little bit into the future, and Pineapples have brought it back. And you know, Squirrel is just cheering on his guys because Lancer's about to be the hero that they needed. And it's Game 7 time, Bagels, and I'm excited.
Game 7 Champions Field gonna be the decider, as we had a little bit of an issue. Somehow Doodle didn't make it in the match. He's in the match now. We got Game 7 here to decide the opener for semifinal 1, as
Jake's AFK.
Jake is AFK off the kickoff. Nobody's saying anything at the moment, though.
He's back.
As
Yeah,
he's finally he's back in now. As we'll get this Game 7 underway here. Who will punch their ticket to the grand finals? Can the Mafiosos stave off the reverse sweep attempts, or will Pineapples make a glorious comeback to meet whoever makes it through on the other side? But Jake, a big hit, a big 50. It went in so fast, I'm not even quite sure what happened.
Jake bounced it off of somebody. I think it was a crazy redirect off of probably the goalie. Yeah, as you see Doodle, he couldn't react to it in time. Lancer tried to hop in front of it, but Jake's just too quick with it. And Bagels, correct me if I'm wrong, but you predicted 4-3 Mafiosos, did you not?
I did, and this is not. I wouldn't expect it to go to Game 7 after it was all said and done with the 3-0. But I mean, hey, you know what? My crystal ball might be in my favor again, once again, as it so mostly is. But Pineapple's gonna have something to say about that. As here's Doodle high off the ceiling, Valence there for the follow-up, putting this one on. The big save from Tashega. And looking to get it out of defense it is, but again, another quick hit from Valence to put that one top shelf.
Is it just me, or every single time the Pineapple score, it's usually Valence has scored, because he is so deadly accurate right now. I know you're really the offensive powerhouse for this team. All season long, Valence has been their guy, and he's stepping up when it matters most. And let's not get ahead of ourselves. Maybe my Pineapple's 4-3 prediction was, you know, details were not included on how it worked, but it's looking like maybe it's what a save here. Oh my gosh.
As that was a huge save from Lancer, but honestly, Jake ended up shooting it right at him. He had the whole net to work with. Big mistake from him. And they could have found another lead right there, but still dangerous here. As Lancer and Doodle both up. Lancer making contact. To the middle, but this one sent back off to the side. Jord, not with a great touch, but here's Jake. He's going to punish the overcommit, but perhaps not, as the shot is off target. And the Pineapple's old ways of the overcommit's coming back in for a few short seconds. There's almost a crazy redirect coming out for Jake. Nobody going for Pineapples. Jord, a lot of space, but using it too slowly, as Doodle going to dunk him out here. And again, another big bang, but Lancer all the way back here. And this time, it doesn't seem like the Mafiosos' offense has slowed down any bit here, Magic.
Yeah, Mafiosos are trying so hard to like get what they had in the early games, but it's the defense that's really cleaned up from the Pineapples that's really making them feel like, wait, what's happening here? This was working so well just a couple games ago. As I feel like this is Jake versus Pineapples in this game. It looks like Tashiga and Jor recognize that Jake's going to be that guy in the clutch moments, and they're playing back foot and letting Jake just take all the shots he wants, and hopefully that pays out for them.
Yeah, he's sitting at 4. He hit 1, perhaps could have had 2 goals, but wasn't able to find the accuracy early on, as Lancer came up with that big save earlier. And here's Lancer again, bumping 2 players off the ball. Where's the follow? But neither Valence or Doodle were all the way back. And again, more space being given, shot straight into Valence. This one sent high, but Jord up early. Valence pass over to Lancer, but nobody seemingly wanted to go to the ball. Now Tashega's going to take to the dribble, flick past one. But here's Doodle, big bang, and net somewhat open. Lancer there for the counter, and a huge play from Lancer. He got the big saves earlier on, and big goal leading. I don't have words, but he just scored. That's it.
No words needed. Lancer is stepping up. The sub is doing what you always want a sub to do. Coming in the big moments, the clutch moments. Game 7 of semis, and maybe the series deciding goal at this, if it stands like this. But you can't really put into words how much a guy like Lancer means for this team. He's always that consistent sub for them, and he's stepping up big time here for this team.
Absolutely, and here he is putting another threatening opportunity on, but Valence not able to put that one on even close, sending it off to the sideball. Here's Doodle. All the players from Mafiosos, a little bit of overcommit, but Jake last back, sending this one high. Here's Tashega looking for the redirect. Couldn't find it. Even if he did, it might have ended up flying straight into Valence, but either way, Tashega can hit those shots. Here's Jake rushing in again, looking for some more bumps. Couldn't find contact. Jord pinching it. not quite as far as he wanted, because now Doodle high off the backboard, nobody there. Where's the follow-up? There's
Jake?
Valence. He's gonna almost send it through, but Jake, another huge save. And Magic, they got one more minute here, the Mafiosos do. They gotta find something.
You know, all the pressure in the world was on them. They had the 3-0 lead, and it's slipping away, and they can every second go by so fast. They really have to get those passing plays they had out early. Maybe invite the Pineapples onto their defensive end of things so they can go for their counterattacks that have been working for them in the series. As an open net here, Jordan can't. Neither can Jake, and that had to have been their opportunity right there.
Yeah, he just came in too quick, but again, the ball would have bounced high. He needed to hit it quick, and now opportunity to get another insurance goal, but another huge save from the Mafiosos. Jake clearing it out. Shega rushing in, taking his time, but cut off again from Valence. Here's Jord, final 30 seconds. As Tashega to the middle, looking for the shot, maybe even a pass, but Valence up early. May have even gotten his flip, but sent back to the middle. Big demo, but Jord keeping this one out. Final seconds and rolling here. Mafiosos, can they get something? But another big clear from the sub. Lancer is going to keep this pressure on for the Mafiosos, but all of a sudden a big pinch coming out. Tashega still up. Valence dropping it down. Here's Jord looking to find it over to Jake. Keep this one up, but it's going to touch the ground. Still high, still lofty. Here's Tashega. He's going to try and find the shot, but he can't hit it. It's off the crossbar. And Tashega, he had the 0 seconds, and Pineapples are gonna somehow beat the Mafiosos with the reverse sweep off the back of Lancer.
Dude, what? Lancer's the hero. He comes in the last game here with the most points in the entire team. Oh my gosh, you really have to feel for Tashega there. He had the shot to send this to overtime, but he put it bar down, and it was not bar down and in. Oh my gosh, what a series. The Pineapples are able to clutch out and give us, I think, our first ever reverse sweep in a 7-game series, probably in Nemesis history. So you all just witnessed probably the most hype match you're ever going to see. And the poor Mafiosos, dude, they had it so close. And as you said, don't count the Pineapples out. And rightfully so, as they're going to bring it back. And they're on their way to grand finals. And you know Squirrel has to be feeling a little bittersweet because, I mean, it was taking him out that really worked out, but he obviously was just having an off day. So this team has a lot of things to clean up before grand finals, but they're looking scary when they get things rolling.
I thought surely, I think it was Valence or Doodle in the corner. I was like, surely he's going to put it down, but a little bit of a mistouch came out. It was the perfect opportunity for the Mafiosos to come back, send us to Game 7 OT, as I think we've had 2 or 3 Game 7 OT deciders to start off the playoffs here. But, I mean, Magic, I don't know about you, but honestly, I think I said it at the end of the broadcast on Saturday, or maybe it was even Wednesday last week, but somehow the playoffs, they just get better and better season after season, and we see just these crazy matchups come out in that final second opportunity. I mean, the playoffs are just wild here.
Yeah, and that shows why you can never trust these odds. You know, the odds they're usually somewhat accurate. When you get teams like this, teams like the Mafiosos that want it so bad, they're teams that work so well together. Guys like Jake just feed off the passes, and they really are so dangerous when they get where they want to be, and that's counterattacks. And it worked for most of that series, but as you said, anything can happen in these playoffs, and that's back-to-back casts with us that have gone the full distance and ended in just most intense last few moments. We had that Barbarian Wyverns match that went to 7, and now we have this one. So I don't know. Maybe me and Bagels need to cast every match, and we'll get those hype game 7s consistently. But either way, I'm excited for the rest of the action tonight, because if that has anything to say, for a little bit of a preview of what we have coming on, we got 4 more banger matchups, and they're probably all going to be even a little bit better, because even the odds say so. The next few games are supposed to be even closer, so we'll have to see.
Yeah, well, we are running a little bit behind schedule. As much as we'd like to talk about how crazy, get some deeper analysis on that crazy series, we are going to be headed to a short break here, and after the break, we are going to be having Hypernova, the #1 seed, who barely scraped by, like Magic mentioned. They barely scraped by in that last matchup. They're going to be going off against the Barbarians here, and if it's any as crazy, any as wild as the first matchup y'all just saw, you're not going to want to miss it, and we'll catch you guys in a few.
Infinite power. infinite power, infinite power, power. Infinite power.